Well, tonight we're learning a Seward Highway crash that happened on Memorial Day killed 2 people. Anchorage police say a motorcycle rider and a Subaru Crosstrek SUV crashed into each other around 3:41 in the afternoon near mile 80 between Portage and Girdwood. When officers arrived, the SUV was covered in flames. Police say the driver and a passenger in the SUV, as well as the motorcycle rider, died at the scene. The highway was closed in both directions for several hours. Identities have not been released. Meanwhile, Glen Highway is open at Boniface Parkway after an hours-long traffic investigation, which we know now is a pedestrian death. Anchorage police first closed the road just after 9 this morning, diverting traffic while they worked at that scene. And as of 2:30 this afternoon, APD says all lanes have reopened. APD says the pedestrian was a man who was pronounced dead at the scene. Police also say he was hit by 2 different express vans. Both drivers remained on scene. Find updates on our website and our mobile app. In Capitol coverage, legislative session is over, but the special session, that one's just beginning. Our political reporter, Will Courtney, is back from Juneau to bring us up to speed. And Will, it seems like the work followed you back here to Anchorage.
Yeah, Rebecca, that's certainly what it seems like. Much of this special session looking like it will take place in Anchorage, which, as a reminder, this special session entirely dedicated to the proposed LNG pipeline. Lawmakers have about 24 days to pass a bill to create an LNG pipeline, but there's little agreement on what that bill will ultimately look like. The governor says property tax exemptions are necessary to create the gas line, but lawmakers differ in how much should actually be granted. So the question really is, can lawmakers and the governor reach a consensus on this issue after largely failing to do just that the last 120 days? House lawmakers have been discussing one bill since they gavelled in last week, but tomorrow the Senate begins to look at the governor's new bill.
And Will, you mentioned several bills. What's at play?
Yeah, well, there's 4 bills that I'm particularly watching on this gas line, and they differ on how much developers should be taxed. One big component that I'm paying particular attention to, AVT. It means alternative volumetric tax. It's essentially how much is going to be taxed on the amount of LNG that goes through the pipeline. The developer of the gas line said in a Juneau committee hearing that the AVT can't really go north of 10 cents per 1,000 cubic feet of gas. But the bills have different rates, going from 6 cents to 15 cents. Rebecca?
A petition circulating in the interior aims to have all ballots hand counted in borough elections. The effort needs around 2,300 signatures to make it onto this year's ballot. The co-sponsor, Barbara Haney, says that her goal is to save money the borough is currently spending on its voting machines, paying for software, transporting the machines across the borough, and storing them throughout the year. But during a hand count audit last year, some residents told the Borough Assembly the current system works, argued hand counts are less efficient. If approved by voters, organizers expect the hand count to follow guidelines from the state of Alaska. Well, time now for a check of the weather with Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry. And coming off a pretty nice holiday weekend, what do we have in store for the end of May?
Yeah, if you liked that little bit of sunshine that we saw late Sunday and again Monday morning, I think you're going to like the forecast here over the next week. We are seeing calmer conditions and steadily warmer conditions as well. And Anchorage seeing some peaks of blue sky out there this afternoon. Temperatures, though, on the cool side, 48 degrees, and it feels even colder than that because of the wind out of the southeast, gusting close to 40 miles per hour for much of the day, even higher as you head into the South Anchorage hillside. Wind gusts there over 50 miles per hour since last night. Now, temperatures are a bit warmer in the valley at 55 in Palmer, nearly 60 in Fairbanks, also close to 60 there in Ketchikan tonight. And as we look at the big picture across the state, we've got that general counterclockwise flow, that low pressure parked out in the Bering still bringing that onshore flow, and showers into the coastal areas of South Central, more on the way into Southeast, but otherwise relatively quiet conditions here across the state. So looking ahead to tonight and tomorrow, we're going to hold on to those showers near Seward, Whittier, Prince William Sound, and into Southeast, and we'll see chances for some thunderstorms developing really once we get into Thursday afternoon across the interior. Otherwise, we'll see more sunshine and calmer conditions all the way down the west coast. Temperatures tomorrow in Anchorage back up to 55, mid-60s in Fairbanks. Keep that rain jacket handy in Juneau tomorrow with high temperatures in the low 50s. Bethel, you'll see some rain showers, but a bit warmer with those high temperatures back up to about 57 degrees. Now, we do have some not only warmer temperatures in the forecast, but a new milestone on the way. I'll look at that here in a few minutes.
Well, that sounds fun. Thank you so much. Anchorage anglers, your time has come. The first king salmon of the season made its way into town. The fish was pulled out of Ship Creek around 2:45 this afternoon by Cody Turner of Anchorage. The bait shack says it weighed 8.9 pounds and measured 28 inches. The catch is exactly 1 week later than the first fish of last season, and it marks the sign that waters are warming. Our Charlie Fellows will have more on the excitement tonight on the Late Edition. For some parts of Alaska, summer brings with it a near certainty of wildfires. Now, to support people who protect them, students at Anderson Secondary School spent their year building shelters. Adrian Peterson has more on the students' creations.
Here at Anderson Secondary School, summer usually brings with it tents filled with wildland firefighters. But this year, the city of Anderson partnered with the school to help build housing solutions.
One of the things that's happened consistently for the city of Anderson is every time there's a major wildland fire, our school becomes the incident command post. So, we see an influx of hundreds of people.
Housing hundreds of new residents is not an easy task as they take up much of the open space in town. But in 2025, the city reached out to the school to build cabins for firefighters. A big challenge for just 5 students.
Having to work with everyone, coordinate and stuff, it was really challenging, but by the time our second cabin had came to us having to build it, it was definitely a lot easier.
It wasn't just building the cabins, though. The students budgeted and presented their plans to the city as well.
For me, it's like giving back to the city. The city always supported the school, and we give it back, and the kids can learn skills.
And as the hours of time in the shop brought them closer, the students not only learned skills such as designing and wiring, but they've made a lasting impact.
It makes me feel like I've contributed something meaningful. It makes me feel great all the time that I know that there's something going to be here for so long that a lot of people in the community will be able to use and benefit from.
While many firefighters will remain in tents this season, residents hope that these cabins can help those that serve their community. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Revealing conversations with Alaska's compelling characters, newsmakers, rebels, people with extraordinary stories. From breaking news to life-changing advice to chasing your best life, we want answers, so we asked. It's one of our new streaming shows, and it starts tonight. Tonight we talk with Sammy Solina. You'll recognize her. She used to work as a reporter here at Alaska's News Source. Now she covers news in Minnesota. Specifically, we wanted to know what it's been like covering ICE and protests. One of the reasons I kind of wanted to talk to you was you've been covering, the ICE protests in Minnesota. What has that experience been like?
Yeah, it's certainly heavy, I think, to cover all of this, because there's a lot of layers to it. The people who are impacted, there's businesses who are impacted, local law enforcement impacted by all of this, schools, the list just goes on and on. But at the same time, you also hear wonderful stories of resilience, of the community coming together to help one another, people volunteering.
So we asked tonight at 7 o'clock. It will also be published on Alaska's News Source streaming services on demand and can be found on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku. Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's News Source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.